The Student Aid Index will now replace the expected family contribution when calculating financial aid needs for families paying for college. This is the key formula that will help unlock scholarships, grants, federal student loans, and other financial aid. Both are calculated through formulas with information derived from the FAFSA form. The big reason behind the change is to create a better reflection of the true cost of college. The formula is simple: cost of attendance minus student aid index and other financial assistance equals eligibility for need-based financial aid. But it's never simple. In the past, many families have interpreted the EFC as the total cost that they will be expected to pay. However, many face higher costs because colleges don't meet the full needs of students or include loans as part of the financial aid package. The new term, Student Aid Index, can erase the feelings that parents face when confronted with the costs of higher education. But it may allow parents and students paying for college to approach the financial challenge with fewer perceived expectations. With a more general term, parents may not feel solely responsible for funding their child's higher education. In this video, we'll dive into more details about the Student Aid Index and what's new about the cost of college in general. Hey everyone, this is Andy Hill with The College Investor, investing and personal finance for millennials. If you're new to the channel and like what you hear, please hit subscribe so you're ready when our next video comes out. Thanks. What is the Student Aid Index? Well, due to the confusing nature of the EFC, lawmakers have decided to make a change. However, the reality is that the change is mostly in the name. The basics of the formula that calculate the resulting number will remain the same. However, the FAFSA Simplification Act has brought a few updates to the formula that will change the way colleges calculate a student's financial needs. So what is new about the process? Well, a streamlined FAFSA form. Instead of answering over 100 questions, the FAFSA is only a few dozen questions now. This should save students and parents time when applying for financial aid. Then there's cost of attendance changes. The cost of attendance is another important number when sorting through college costs. Here are some of the changes included in the new law. A student will not need to be attending school on at least a part-time basis to allow for a personal computer's rental or purchase. The student can be enrolled at any time commitment for this allowance. Transportation allowances between home, school, and work are allowed. A college financial aid administrator will set the actual transportation allowance. A student will need to be enrolled at least half-time to receive an allowance for personal expenses. Room and board allowances must be split into separate allowances for housing and meals. Meal allowances must be based on 3 meals per day. Housing allowances for students living in college-owned or operated housing will be based on the greater of the average or median housing costs. Housing allowances cannot be set to 0 for students living with their parents at home. An allowance for private student loans is no longer applicable. An allowance for loan fees on federal loans for students and parents will be mandatory instead of at the discretion of the college. The next new change: multiple students will be treated differently. In the past, families with multiple students attending college at the same time on at least a part-time basis received special treatment. The parent assessment was divided by the number of family members in college. Also, independent students had their family contribution divided by the number of students attending college on a half-time basis. The SAI will not be divided based on the number of students in college within a family. With that, middle and high income families may miss out on previous opportunities to save. And then there's new Pell Grant eligibility. Eligibility for Pell Grants will be based on a multiple of the poverty line. Households may qualify with incomes between 0 and 175% to 400% of the poverty line. Additionally, incarcerated students will be eligible for the Pell Grant. Also, negative SAI will be possible. If the student is eligible for the maximum federal Pell Grant, the Student Aid Index will be set to 0. But the financial aid formula can allow for an SAI to be below 0, as low as negative $1,500. This can help colleges more accurately determine a student's financial needs. Let's take a look at the Student Aid Index chart, which is formerly the EFC chart. For the majority of families thinking about how to pay for college for the first time, the SAI chart is probably going to be pretty shocking. Remember, a good SAI is lower. The lower the score, the higher the potential for need-based financial aid. Keep in mind this SAI chart that you're seeing right now is only an estimate. And at some point, you're going to want to put in your own real data. To get a better estimate, you can access a calculator on our website, and you can find that link in our video description. Keep in mind that these figures are estimates and they may change. Furthermore, assets are assumed to be zero and student income is assumed to be zero. You can find your family adjusted gross income, AGI, on the left side of the chart, see how many dependent children you have, and you can see your student aid index in the chart. The higher the SAI number, the less student aid you'll be eligible for. As a quick reference, as you're looking at this, green means eligible for need-based aid at public 2-year, public 4-year, private 4-year, and elite colleges. Yellow means eligible for need-based aid at public 4-year, private 4-year, and elite colleges. Orange means eligible for need-based aid at private 4-year and elite colleges. Red means eligible for need-based aid at elite colleges, and purple means no need-based aid eligibility. Now that you know some of the basics, check out this SAI calculator on our website to see how your personal situation compares. My College Corner has a great SAI calculator that can provide a pretty accurate result in about 8 minutes of data entry. Thanks for hanging out today, everyone. This is Andy from The College Investor. We'll see you in the next video.